This is another important question and answer that took place from the Barr hearings with Amy Klobuchar. It's actually, I mean, it is useful to note before we do segments like this. Of course, the Obama administration had a very bad record on journalists and prosecuting leakers. And as with so many things, there's the space that those profoundly wrong policy, the damage they cause, and then the space they open for the next escalation, which would, of course, be even worse. This is Amy Klobuchar asking William Barr about the possibility of imprisoning journalists. Now, it's really important, and it's also important to remember in this preamble, the Obama administration, in fact, opted at the end of the day to not indict Julian Assange for journalistic work. They actually did not cross that path. And they were horrible on whistleblower and transparency stuff, no question. So take this for a spin.
Under this current administration. My dad was a reporter, so I grew up knowing the importance of a free press. We obviously have the tragic case of a journalist who worked right here at the Washington Post, Jamal Khashoggi, and it's a particular concern. So I want to ask you something I asked Attorney General Sessions. If you're confirmed, will the Justice Department jail reporters for doing their jobs?
I think that, I know there are guidelines in place, and I can conceive of situations where, as a last resort, and where a news organization has run through a red flag or something like that, knows that they're putting out stuff that will hurt the country. There might be there could be a situation where someone would be held in contempt. But
well, Attorney General Sessions had said he was going to look at potentially changing those rules at one point. So I'd like you to maybe respond in writing to this, because that was very concerning. And
wow. So of course, the only answer to that question that isn't bone chilling is no. That's it. Now, and language like that, of like throw up a red flag, he wants to imply something that like recklessly endangers people's lives. Okay, so that's already very, very dangerous ground, because the national security state, that's their claim about everything. That's why we shouldn't know about the drone program. That's why we shouldn't know about mass surveillance. Add that to which the president that he's going to serve, that guy would consider criticizing one of his business deals a quote-unquote red flag. So that's a mortifying statement, and it's an indictment of the whole political terrain. And really, that's, if you go into the 90s and you look at some of the legislation that the Republican Congress passed and Clinton signed on, like Effectiveness and Death Penalty Act as an example, horrifying legislation, which basically sped up the death penalty and reduced appeals. But this infrastructure of surveillance and opposition to journalists is definitely flows from the war on terror. Like, we are still in pure war on terror. Bush started it, Obama codified it, and now the keys are in the hands of these people. What is this?